educational purposes only. The content is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any diseases, nor is it intended to take the place of your primary care physician. The statements in this program have not been evaluated by the FDA. Testimonials are shared as individual experiences of the individual. Results vary and may not be typical. We do not make any claims regarding health or income. As an empowered individual, you do have options available. We are honored to continue to share the teachings of a founding father of the science of epigenetics, Dr. Joel Wallach, Bachelor of Science in Plant and Soil Sciences, Doctor of Veterinary Medicine, 4 postdoctorates in pathology, naturopathic doctor.
Hello and welcome, everyone. Let's go ahead and open up those Zoom room doors and let everyone in. My name is Ruth Ellen Sanchez, and I'm going to be your host for today. We have a special guest who is part of our team, and Sheri is going to be talking about, it moved on me, real life, real results, walking the path together. I can't wait to hear the details of that. This program is sponsored by dailywithdoc.com. And also, if somebody referred you to this program, please make sure to get back with them, as they are going to be your main point of contact. And also, our little bit of housekeeping is this program is for educational purposes only. The content is not intended to diagnose, treat, or cure, or prevent any diseases, nor is it intended to take the place of your primary care physician. The statements in this program have not been evaluated by the FDA. Testimonials are shared as individual experiences of the individual. Results vary and may not be typical. We do not make claims regarding health or income. As an empowered individual, you do have options. And that's what we like to share. Options for life, options for everything, ways to eat, different things like that. So I'm very excited to go ahead and bring Sheri on with me. And hello, Sheri. How are you today?
Hi, Ruth Ellen. I'm doing wonderful. Thank you.
Good. Good. So what is your talk about today? Or what would you like to start with, I should say?
Okay, well, I'll start with a little bit about who I am. For those who may not know, my name is Sheri Browning, and I have the title of a health coach and herbalist, but at my core, I am a lifelong learner. That's who I really am. And I've been blessed to raise 8 children, and now have the joy of watching grandchildren and even great-grandchildren grow, which is the biggest motivation I have to stay healthy. That's who I am. And I'm going to talk a little bit about real life, real results as a health coach. If you're ready, I can get right on it.
I'll let you take it away.
Okay, thank you. All right. Through my late husband's military career, we spent much of our lives living overseas, about 20 actually. And those years taught me a simple truth that no matter where we are in the world, our bodies share the same fundamental needs. Now, I've been practicing as a health coach since about 2015. That's when I finished my certification. But looking back at those early years, I realized how much I was kind of guessing or really just struggling to help my clients really feel their optimal best. We did all that I was taught in my training, but there was just something missing. And I often felt like that was a puzzle piece that was missing. So, and at the time I had my own frustrations with my own health issues, not serious issues, but I just wanted to feel my best. I didn't always feel my best, but everything changed in early 2023 when one of my clients ran across Dr. Wallach and ran across longevity supplements, and she or he just said, what do you think about this? Do you think this is something we ought to explore? And I started listening to Dr. Wallach. And if anybody knows, he is the type that you just become mesmerized by what he's saying and what he's teaching, because it just makes so much sense. And it seems to resonate with something inside of you that just sounds so true. So I decided I would try the supplements, and I was amazed at the results that I felt. So I encouraged some of my other clients to start using them, and they also had the same results, feeling much better, feeling like, if you looked at my cabinet, and I'm sure my clients the same, you would see rows and rows of fractionated nutritional supplements, and they were a chore to take, and they weren't giving the results you would expect. But when I started using longevity supplements, those all went away. I didn't need them anymore, and I felt so much better. So I felt like Dr. Wallach gave me a foundation to really build on in my health coach practice, which I started using. And then I certified again with the Certified Holistic Health Coach program, which gears mostly toward longevity products and the body, which I loved. So now I haven't got it all figured out. I have to tell you, I share this as a fellow traveler like the rest of you. I'm learning as I go too. So when I work with a client, one of the first things I do is, after we've gone through their health issues, their concerns, I'll ask them, what is the biggest thing you want to see change in your life? And we kind of go from there. And then we order the supplements. And I give them an instruction: when you receive your box of supplements, please give me a call. We can open that box together, and then we're going to go over again how to take them. In the meantime, before their box arrives, I send them a welcome email. It will have their account details and their personalized supplement instructions and the preferred food guide. I send them an email copy of this. It's about 3 or 4 pages. And it talks about what to avoid. And then, even more importantly, it talks about what to eat. And then when I call them, they have that information in front of them, as well as their supplements. And we can go through the supplements, and we'll go through them again, how to take them, when to take them, why they're taking them in some cases. And then we go over the eating guide again. My goal is to help them not be confused and to feel confident about what they're doing, because many times, and I know I felt this way when I received my box of longevity supplements, and I opened them up and I put them on the counter, I felt kind of overwhelmed. I don't want them to have that feeling. So that's why I work with them in the beginning like that. Now, I haven't always done this, something I've refined as I've gone along. But I asked them one very important question. And I give them an instruction. What are the symptoms that you're having that are most concerning to you? I want you to write them down. And I want you to write down how you're feeling today. Are you aching anywhere? Are you having memory issues? I want you to write it down. And then we're going to come back and visit that later on when you've been on the supplements for a little while. And that's before they take that first dose. I want them to do it before they take the first dose. It's because it's so easy to forget where we started. Once we start feeling better, you forget where you were. It's just easy to do that. At about a week or 10 days later, we'll do a follow-up. I'll usually send an email asking how they're doing, asking if they have any questions. I'll offer to do another phone chat with them if they want. Often they'll just email me back, and they'll say if they're doing well or not, or they'll say, yeah, let's have a phone chat, and then we can do that. But often it's an email that I get back. I want them, and I've noticed that the more they learn, the more they become very independent in their own health, and we become partnership, and they're not so dependent on me anymore. We become partners in their health. I really see myself more as an educator than a coach. So my goal is to help them gain knowledge and confidence, take full ownership of their own health. So, because isn't it true that the more we know, the better choices we make? I think it's true. It's for me. So I also encourage my clients to really listen to their bodies. I know I've talked about this before when I've done a show, but it is so important to listen to your body. It's talking to you all the time. It's constantly sending you messages. It is trying to get your attention. It's just a matter of learning how to pay attention to those signals. For example, if I happen to get leg cramps or foot cramps or ankle cramps, immediately I know I need more salt. I know that sounds weird. Some people would say magnesium, calcium, but for me, I need more salt. And I have a little container of salt in my bathroom. If it happens at night, I just go to the bathroom and get a good pinch of it and put it in my mouth and suck on it until it's dissolved and those cramps go away. I've also learned that sometimes if I get a headache across my head, that I'm either not drinking enough liquid or I need salt. Both of those, it can be either one of those. And that's the signals my body is sending to me. So learn to listen to your body because it's talking to you all the time. So I try to get them to do that as well. I also invite them to join the educational training classes I attend. And there are several I try to listen to religiously because I learned so much. And so I'll send them the links to join them and to listen themselves. And after the classes are over, I will send them a copy of my notes so that they, if they couldn't attend, they at least get to learn what we covered. And then they become a true partner of their own health because they really get it. They understand it. A humbling lesson I've learned along the way is that I can't want help for someone more than they want it for themselves. I once worked with a client managing a chronic condition. This was years ago. She really struggled to let go of the foods that she loved. It was while I was in longevity, so it was after I knew about the grains and giving up the wheat, barley, rye, and oats. She loved her pizza. She loved her breads. And when she decided that the change was just too much, she chose to stop after only being on the protocol for 11 days. I was disheartened for her because I knew she could feel better if she would just give it time and just give it at least 30 days. But it's hard for me because I knew how much better she could feel. But I realize that my role isn't to force change, it's to walk alongside those who are ready to take that step and really try. It was a difficult moment to witness, but it taught me that my role is to provide the support and the information, but the choice always belongs to them. If a client isn't ready, that's okay. I keep the door open. I don't hold any judgment, and I respect their journey. Our job as coaches is to walk alongside them, but we cannot walk the path for them. And that was something I had to learn. So how do I get myself organized? Now, I am not the most organized person. I know you probably thought I was, but I am not the most organized person. It was my husband who kept me organized when he was here, but now I'm on my own. So I have to learn to be more organized. And I have come up with, when I get my supplements out for the day, I've come up with what I call the white cup method. I put in my morning supplements, put in my lunch supplements, and I put in my evening supplements. That's how I do it. So if I haven't finished all those supplements and those cups by the end of the day, I have to take the rest. I don't want to take them all at one time, so I try to put them in the cups as I go. And one thing I love to do too, I don't really like to take a lot of capsules or pills. I prefer to drink my nutrition. So if I make a smoothie in the morning, I'll take my handful of pills and I'll throw them in the smoothie and I'll grind them up with it. I know a few times I get a chunk, but I don't care. It's just easier for me and it's just tastier. So this helps me be really organized in taking my nutrition. And it completely stops that. Did I take that supplement today? Because I know I did because my cup is empty. So I don't have to wonder if I took it. I've learned that the secret to success is just making things easier on yourself. If you make it too hard, you won't do it. That's just human nature. So every morning I fill my cups. It's a simple ritual, but it makes my life so much easier. Now, you probably have your own way of organizing all of that, and I'd love to hear how you do it. So drop it in the chat. Let me know. I personally don't believe in dieting. I have taught weight loss classes. I have taught many different health classes, but I have come to learn that I just don't believe in dieting. I believe in returning to foods that actually nourish us. And for my clients, we focus on removing the sources of inflammation. And we know what the no's are, don't we? No wheat, barley, rye, or oats. No bottled oils, canola, corn, soy, all those oils are out. And yes, even olive oil. And I'm amazed at how many people say, but olive oil is healthy, right? And I have to say to them, I'm sorry, it's on the no list. Well, why? I hear all these really influential people on the internet telling us that we should be drinking olive oil every day. And I said, well, no, it's on the no list. Dr. Wallach says no. If you grow your own olive tree and you press your own olives and you use the oil right away, you can have olive oil. But otherwise, it's a no. They finally give it up. I said, give it up for a while, see how you do. So what kind of fats do you want? You want the ancestral fats. You want the tallow, the butter, the lard. Yes, the lard. You want the good fat, the ghee. As a matter of fact, I have a bottle of lard here. Isn't that funny? You can buy it in the grocery store now. But this is a bottle of lard I made myself. I made a beef broth with some really fatty meat and good bones. It's a bone beef broth. And when I finished, it had a thick layer of the fat just sitting on top. I let it solidify, and that's what this is. And I use it in cooking. It's very delicious, very delicious. We replace when you aren't sure what to eat, and this is what I'll hear sometimes too. Well, what can I eat? I said, well, it's really quite easy. Start with a high quality protein and then a healthy fat. Add a good healthy fat and eat a generous portion of vegetables. That's it. That's all you have to worry about. That's all you have to think about. A good protein, a healthy fat, and good vegetables. And I teach my clients, or I have in the past, to saute their vegetables in a good healthy fat because it has such a delicious flavor and they'll eat more of them. You can steam them. And I'm a big proponent, as Ruth Ellen knows, of bone broth. And I keep that always at my counter in my freezer I can it and I freeze it so I can have it right away if I want it, or if I think ahead, I can pull it out of the freezer. But I love bone broth. So I keep that on hand of my homemade bone broth. So, but like all of us, anyways, that's what I do for that. Now, let's get to real life. I have navigated traveling just like the rest of you. I recently went on a cruise. I go to family birthdays. I go to dinners at friends, and I have busy weeks where things didn't go according to plan. I still have days where I'm not perfect. I do. But don't let travel derail your progress. The key is to keep it simple. You can stay consistent without the stress. You pack the essentials. You don't take every pill you have in your house. When I was getting ready for my cruise just recently, I didn't know exactly what I needed to take with me and what I needed. And I was trying to think of all the different scenarios. Well, we hear that you might be around people with lots of germs, all that kind of stuff. I didn't care. I had a good time. So I took some Super Olive Health. I love our Good Herbs line. Absolutely love this line. Good Herbs Olive Health is a good antimicrobial, good antibacterial. So I took it as prophylactic, just to use to keep from it. Took a couple of squirts of that each day under my tongue. It was great. And I loved the packets. I took the Tangy Tangerine in a packet. I could just stick it in my water and drink it whenever I wanted it. Mineral sticks. I wanted my minerals, so I just took the mineral sticks and put that in my water, or even over yogurt when I wanted it. And then I took Rebound. When you're out, we went out to one of the places we went to, just go to the Mayan ruins, and it's a hot day and you're sweating a lot. So I put some of that in a bottle and I took that. It was fabulous. Kept me very hydrated, feeling really good. And I just worried about the simple stuff. I didn't take any of the extra things I would take at home. EFA plus, of course, we know we need our fatty acids. And I took Ultimate Cal. I wish Longevity made these Osteo-fx in a pack, but they don't. So I took the Ultimate Cal. It's close enough, although I like Osteo better. I took a digestive enzymes, of course, because you're eating a lot of different foods. And then I took mineral caps. I have this and a mineral stick, but if I just didn't feel like drinking it, I could take these. And that is the mineral cap. That's all I did. I just kept it simple. I didn't take anything else, even though at home I might take other things. That was all I needed for the trip. It's just the basic. The basics, and probably some of you have some ideas for traveling too. So don't stress over perfect timing. At home, I might, take them more time in a different way. If you're traveling, the goal is just to make sure you get your nutrition in every day. That's all. Even if the routine looks a little different. And let's see, what else can I share with you? The 12 bad foods. Yeah, I've learned that the 12 bad foods aren't about being rigid. They are about choosing to love our bodies enough to set a boundary. That's all it is. When I'm at a social event, I do the best I can. If I have to navigate a difficult meal, then I eat what I'm served with grace and simply move on. My health isn't defined by one meal, but by the accumulation of 1,000 small choices that I make each day. If you have a meal that isn't perfect, it's not a failure. You're not a failure. It's just a data point. You didn't fall off the wagon. You just had a human moment. The goal is to make 90% of your choices good ones, and that's where the magic happens. We often focus so much on big health goals, like the blood work or the weight loss, and those are great. But we overlook the small victories that usually actually build our momentum when we're trying to change our lives or be better at what we're doing. I call these micro wins, and they're worth celebrating. Like this. Did you drink an extra glass of water today? That's a win. Did you take your supplements? That's a big win. Did you have a moment where you wanted that pizza, but you paused and chose something nourishing instead? That is a massive, life-changing win. When we look only at the finish line, we get exhausted. But when we look at the ground beneath our feet and celebrate each step, we realize we are moving forward. And when we honor those little moments, we're teaching ourselves a new way to live. It's our way of telling our bodies that it's safe to heal, that we have the strength to change, and that we deserve to feel good in our skin. So I'd love to hear from you. What's the one stumbling block you or your clients are facing right now? I'm going to give you a moment to think about that. What's the one stumbling block you or your clients are facing right now? Can't stop with sweets. Good one. In the chat, I'm looking at the chat. Somebody said they can't stop with sweets. That is a real problem. Sweets are addictive, and we all want them. And so when there is a desire for sweets, I'm finding that if I take something that is more savory, that will go away. Sometimes it's just a matter of counting to 10 and say, I can wait a little bit longer, or I can wait a little bit longer. Oh, I wish I brought it with me. I have this, it's a cinnamon type of gum that has xylitol in it, which are good for the teeth. And usually after a meal, I'll chew on a piece of that gum, and it takes any desire for sweets away. So I would get out. I would do that. I would try to get something else that you can do that would take that sweet desire away. Oh, getting out in the sun on a beautiful morning. That is so important. And that's something I used to teach about with my classes. They would come over. Get out at least 10 to 20 minutes a day. Your body needs it. Don't be afraid of the sun, without sunscreen, by the way, and don't be afraid of the sun. Before 11 or after 4 are your best hours, and just get out there and just enjoy what God has given us, and that's beautiful sun and nature. Get out there and enjoy it. Okay, another one is sweet is my downfall. I seem to crave it constantly. That is so common. That is so common. Gluten-free can be good, but even if you buy gluten-free, you have to look at the label, because some gluten-free will have oats in it. Well, that's not gluten-free. It has gliadin in it. It's just as damaging to the body. So you have to think about that too. That's a good one. Oh, that's good. I'm glad, Marilyn, you're going to chew on the cinnamon gum. Yeah, listen before 11 after 4. Yeah, make gluten-free choices. Those are very important. Gluten really does a job on the digestive tract. You know what gluten will do? That's why I send this to my clients. Gluten is inflammatory to the bowels. It interferes with absorption. It causes intestinal sludge and bloating. You may not know that, but that's what's happening when you eat that bread or eat that pizza. it significantly raises blood sugar, and it is associated with autoimmune disease, and it affects the endocrine and hormonal systems. I mean, why would we want to do that to ourselves? If we understand what's happening to our bodies, then we make better choices. And that's why I try to educate my clients. If they really know the why, then they tend to be more willing to give up those things that they've enjoyed but are causing so much harm. So I'm glad that was brought up. So what is the biggest fear your clients express when they start this? And if you are a client here, what is your biggest fear? Sometimes a client will say, I'm afraid I won't be consistent. I won't stick with it. Well, yeah, that's something we all have to deal with. I'm afraid I won't be successful. I'm afraid I won't lose weight. Hi, Ruth Ellen. Glad you joined me again.
Yes, that is a fear that people have, that they won't lose weight. Another thing is I have a lot of clients that have, like, I can't go to somebody's house. What am I supposed to eat? How am I supposed to do it? I'm going to be rude. Now, there are certain cultures, like Asian cultures and Italians and people and Jewish mothers. They always want to feed you because that's love to them. Feeding you is love. And Spanish as well, because they want you to eat what they made you, because they made it with love and they made it for you. And it's like, how do I tell my nana that I can't eat that? And then we have
Those are times when I don't worry about it. I just enjoy the meal,
yeah.
and I try to eat the most of what I can eat and just a little of what I know I probably shouldn't be eating.
Yes.
Those are the times when I just don't worry about it so much. You know,
And
it's
you can make stuff and take it and then eat like your dessert and maybe have a little bit of theirs, or to make sure you take digestive enzymes, because that really does help when you're going off your eating plan.
yes.
And another thing that I've told that they've done is, they'll take like a big pot of soup, depending on the season, and it's gluten-free, and then people will be enjoying that. And then you share it with your nana or your grandma or whatever you call them. And then they're like, oh, wow. And then you can teach them how to make some different recipes, or make recipes that they love.
Right.
Using different ingredients.
Yeah. And you can offer to bring a dish someplace and say, can I bring a dish? I'd love to bring something. And then you can eat that for sure.
Yeah.
What you brought. I just see the chat. Olga said, often when I feel that I fancy something and I know that I'm not hungry, I make myself a nice cup of tea. Very satisfying. I love that. I love that. Now, see, I would do that with bone broth. I'd make myself a nice cup of warm bone broth.
Yes.
Fantastic.
Great idea.
Yeah, Olga, I like that.
Definitely a good one.
And Albert has said the Afrikaans mothers are very similar. They want you to eat and they will watch you while you eat. I love that.
Yes.
They want to make sure they're taken care of. I love that. That's cute. That's sweet.
That is adorable.
Yes.
And then Barbara says, what to eat when you go out for breakfast? Eggs, yes. No bacon, sausage, hash browns, toast, or biscuits. Yeah. Some restaurants do have gluten-free toast.
Yeah, you can ask about that. That was one of the fun things about the cruise is, I guess cruise lines have become very familiar with people wanting different ways of eating, because they would come to our table and say, does anyone have any special dietary needs here? I mean, it was so nice and refreshing. So it was easy to stay with the protein and the vegetables. It was really easy. The hard part was when our group would get together after the shows in the evening. We'd get together in one of the areas of the ship to play games. And they would go over and get crepes filled with all kinds of fillings and bring them over for us to share. I did take a bite or two because they were so good. But those are those times that are, you just enjoy the moment. You just enjoy the moment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unfortunately for me, I cannot eat any gluten. It makes me
Yeah,
it makes me ill. I have to stay home for like 3 days because I can't leave my house.
I
Even a little.
understand.
So for me, I'll just say I developed an allergy. I can't eat that. I'm so sorry. Do
Yeah.
you have something else? And then they'll be happy because now they're giving you something that, will be good. Um,
Yes.
and that
I have
you,
a,
they
yeah,
don't have to
go
worry
ahead.
about you getting sick because
Yeah. I do have a friend who is celiac. I mean, it's serious for her. She cannot at all. And so she's part of our friend group and we all love her. And when we have get togethers and she's over, everyone always makes her a dish she can have that's gluten free. Always. They include it in everything. So people will go out of their way to make you happy and give you what you can eat,
Mhm.
especially when they know you just absolutely cannot have it. That's wonderful.
Yeah, that's really sweet that you guys do that. See,
Yeah.
sharing
Yeah.
the love,
That's
except
right.
they're at. That's
That's right.
wonderful.
Yeah. So some other ideas that people might have. Um, I'd love to hear how others help with their clients to learn and grow.
Yes, I've had several clients that they're like some of yours. They get impatient or they don't want to make
Yeah.
changes, and you got to work with them. Um, you got to meet them where they're at. And when I first started longevity, like I had been really sick, and I didn't know why. And I wouldn't give up the gluten. I kept eating the gluten, and then I didn't have like I didn't notice the reaction because
Mm.
I was in it. I would keep eating it. A little bit of gluten here, a little bit there. I'd take breaks and I just couldn't give it up. And then I tried for 30 days not to eat. I made it really strict. No gluten, nowhere. I had all the soy sauces that were gluten free and every different kind of sauce, gluten free. And Dr. Wallach even says, go gluten free for 30 or 60 days and then eat some gluten and tell me you don't have a problem. Yeah, I thought I had the flu.
That's interesting, isn't it? Yes, if you could just get them off of it long enough, they can see the difference.
Yeah. And so I tell that story and I'll say just make slight changes and, work your way towards what you need.
Right,
Um,
right. Don't be afraid to change. I know.
yeah.
And some are concerned about the cost. You know, what this is something we run into, isn't it? Our clients are saying, well, that's so expensive. Well, yeah, but so is bad health. Bad health is going to cost you so much more. I just consider the money I pay for my nutritional supplements to be part of my grocery bill because it's nourishment. I just put it all together. I would never go a day without it. I honestly can't because I notice such a difference if I do. I need this nutrition. And especially as I get older, I'm with people my age. I'm 76. I don't care if you know it, proud of my age. And when I'm around people my age and see the health conditions that they are dealing with, I am so grateful that I have got this healthy, strong body that I can enjoy life with and not be so debilitated as some of the people that I know personally that just struggle.
Yes.
I try to help them, but they're not open to it. And it's fine. I have to just let them be where they are on their journey. And I'm where I am on my journey. And they just keep telling me how lucky you are. And I said, well, it's more than luck. But I don't know. It's more than luck. It's learning to take care of yourself. It's
Mhm.
learning to eat properly. It's learning to take good, healthy nutrition. And it's following the principles that Dr. Wallach taught. He is a genius. I will always praise his name just because of the genius that he is, all the work that he did, all the sacrifices he made. We are very, very blessed to have had him give so much so that we can learn and benefit from that.
Yes. Yes. So, Keely, and if you guys have a question, please feel free to raise your hand. We can unmute you and you can ask your question because the chat seems to scroll by sometimes a little faster than we can get to the question. But Keely would like to know What favorite recipes do you share to transition your clients from wheat bread products to other options like almond flours, etc.?
That's a great question. That is a great question. I actually would do a few recipes if some don't ask. And so I figure they are okay. And Keely, I really want to do a cookbook kind of thing. I know we have one, Dr. Wallet cookbook, and I've used some of that. But I will send them just simple things. Matter of fact, I send some to my clients, recipes, and they aren't, gosh, I wish I could remember. They usually deal with using whole food. If they ask, I will go online and I'll find them some. For myself, I just eat a good protein and vegetables and healthy fats. That's kind of what I stick with. I'm pretty plain in my eating, but I enjoy it. When my husband was alive, he used to cook us all kinds of food, which I absolutely love, but I was not the cook he was, so I'm having to learn to do it again. But just sticking with the basics, salads. And I always tell them, if you go someplace for a salad, just don't use the dressing. Ask the restaurant if they have any lemon, and if they do, just squeeze lemon all over it for your dressing and add some salt, and it's very good. It's very tasty. That's what I do, so that I don't have to have their dressing because it's just oil in a bottle. I see Kathy has a question.
As she does, and I asked the restaurant for if they have avocado, and then I'll put avocado on my salad and mix it when I'm cutting it up, and that I'll use the dressing.
Good idea. Good idea.
Kathy, if
I
you
thought about that.
There you go.
Hi. My question is this. I've been making my own bread. And as I said, bread for me is just like so hard to give up. So I found a recipe for gluten-free bread, and it uses brown rice flour, white rice flour, tapioca starch, and one other little ingredient. But I don't see those ingredients on the no food list.
Correct. They're not on there. Yeah.
Okay. So they're okay, would you say?
Yes, they are. As Brett Bashawati has My Total Nutrition, he has a website where he has recipes that you can go and just go to mytotalnutrition.com. And he has a recipe section. And your bread sounds very similar to what he does for bread.
Oh, good.
I'm not a super big bread eater, but his bread everybody raves about. Yeah.
Oh, great. Thank you, Sheri.
You're welcome, Kathy. Thanks for the question.
Great question, Kathy. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Okay, Olga's asking about comparing the mineral caps with the midnight mineral caps. I don't know anything about the midnight mineral caps. I know we do have a midnight mineral that uses a facial.
Yeah,
you know about that?
I do. So the mineral caps are the plant-dried minerals in a non-liquid form. They're like dried. They call it, they make a slur of it, and then they dehydrate it like they do coffee crystals or something, and they put it in capsules. And the midnight minerals are fulvic acid minerals. So it's a completely different type of mineral. And fulvic acid is in a lot of supplements that we have. So it's important. But those would not give you the same thing that the plant-dried minerals would give you, or the mineral caps.
Thank you. Good to know. I do know I have a package of, it's in a dark bag of some sort of mineral thing that you use as a facial.
It's fantastic.
Use as a mask to clean. Yeah.
Yes,
I've done that before. I like it.
And
Keely,
then,
come on, Keely. What do you have to say?
you should be able to unmute, Keely.
There she is.
Excuse me. Do you make a lot of your condiments, or like mayonnaise, butter, anything like that?
I used to. When Kurt was alive, I did. Oh, he did. He was the cook. But now I don't a lot. The mayonnaise, I've just learned not to like mayonnaise. I've learned to just do without it. As far as butter goes, I buy a good quality butter. I do buy the raw milk from a local dairy, which I use. Matter of fact, I'm picking up some tomorrow. And the cream on it is so big, I probably could make my own butter from that cream, but I make kefir out of it. So I just put it all in there. But I don't make my own condiments. But I think that Brett Bashawati's site has condiments on it, if I'm not
he does.
mistaken.
What
Yeah.
about desserts? Because a lot of times I'll have individuals say, well, I have my sweet tooth. I want to use, fruit. Do you have any dessert secrets that you use in order to fill their palate?
Oh, that's a good one too. I encourage them to have fruit. I know that's crazy, but it's sweet and it does satisfy. Or I love chocolate. So a square of chocolate, I just have them to go easy on the stuff. We want to replace everything that we loved, and I get that. I mean, I'm the same way. Sometimes it's a good idea if we just move away from it. So I do have this really fun ice cream that's made with a lot of egg yolks, and it uses a sweetener, a combination of erythritol and what's the other one? It's another sweetener mixed together in it, and then cream. And I love that, and I'll make that on occasion and have it around. But other than that, I don't do a lot of desserts. I did in the beginning, Keely, because I wanted to go back. I wanted everything to I wanted to have all those things that I knew I shouldn't have. But now I have just learned to do without them. So I'll have to check Brett's site and see if he has any desserts on there.
Yeah, I don't recall the dessert piece. And then one
Right.
last question for you. When you're dealing with your clients, one of the things that I sort of spend a lot of time on is I'm working on their nutrients and then their
Yes.
nutrition, their food plan. How much do you get involved in detoxing their home and detoxing their body via shampoos, deodorants, toothpaste, etc.?
I used to do more of that actually before I started doing the supplements. We used to go through that as a health coach. We'd go through using the clean shampoos, the clean body washes, all of that. I've covered much of that since I've been dealing more with the supplements and the diet. But that's a good one. That's
Yeah,
another area that we really need to clean up in our lives. You're right.
yeah. I've been doing a ton of it, because once you get them started, when they're in the store, you sort of get them, stopping at, like your Amish, we have our Amish farms, that are out here in Ohio and stuff. But then it's sort of like, well, what else do I need to address? What else do I need to address? And it's just an opportunity to do something different.
It sure is. And that's a good one. I'm going to have to bring that up to my clients, or maybe even include that in some of my, when they onboard kind of things, send them some information about that as well. That's a good idea. I did have one client recently that just joined, and he was asking me about, does Longevity have any clean shampoos? And he actually purchased some, but that's the first one that's ever asked me. Good
Yeah.
point. I love that.
I can tell you that Trora's hair products are really good.
Yeah. All right.
They are.
Thanks.
Yeah. I love working with people. I mean, I just love people. And maybe that's why I have so many kids. I don't know, but I love people and I love being around people and I love hearing people's stories. Everyone has a story and everyone needs to feel heard and everyone needs to feel seen. And I just, when I'm with people, I'm more interested in their life. I'm just terribly interested. I want to hear all about their lives and it makes it fun. One thing I is very important to me, if they'll let me, and it has to be a mutual thing, is if my client will let me be their friend. So I like to be their friend as well as their coach, because it's easier than to work with them and it's more fun actually if we're friends. I just recently signed up a new client who is a recent widower, and it was fun for us to, well, fun, it's probably the wrong word, but it was very healing for us to be able to talk about our experiences as widows and widowers, because it's a unique experience. And especially if you've been married for many, many years. We were married 58 years when my husband passed, and his wife and him had been married 55. So when we had a lot in common there, and that was very healing. And I think that was so helpful for us. And then we can talk about health. So yeah, I love making friends.
Thank you, Keely.
Anything else we have? You're welcome.
Well, Olga made a comment when you were talking about your age, and she said,
Yeah.
well done, Sheri. You look great, and I like your energy.
Thank you, Olga. You're so sweet.
She is sweet, isn't she? I love it.
She is. She is. I'm usually working in the background and I'm watching all the things that are coming in during our shows. And I've seen Olga on here before, and I've always been impressed with her coming on and the comments she makes. So
Yeah.
thank you, Olga.
Yes. And then Bruce says, Dr. Wallach says everybody in your household must be gluten-free, the dog and cat, and you can't work at Panera Bread or Spaghetti Factory because of the environment, which is true, but it's not always reality.
That is true. That's not always reality.
There's 9 people in my house, and I am the only one who is gluten-free.
There you
Literally,
go.
I have to wash every pan twice before I use it. And I stay away when they're making their spaghetti because of the steam and different things like that. And every once in a while I get a cross contamination, but if you can, that would be awesome.
Yes.
But there's too many people.
I know too many.
Like all over the place, so, and I love seeing, so, I get to enjoy things that other grandparents would miss because their grandkids don't live with them. And the good thing
is true. I'm rather jealous. I personally think there should be community homes.
Yeah.
When we lived in the Middle East, generations of families lived together in one great big villa. They each had their own floor. And I used to think how lucky they were. You had your own floor when you needed your space and needed your time. But it was just beautiful to see that. I saw another comment here, and that was Barbara would like to know more about the face mask. Can anyone look that up real quick? The face mask. The bag is in my bathroom, so I can't go in there and get it, but
it's called Midnight Minerals.
Midnight Minerals, yeah.
You can find it on your DWD's website. I'm pretty sure they still sell the bag, and the directions I think are on the bag.
They are. I just recently did it when I came a couple of weeks ago. It's very black, and be prepared. It just gets everywhere, but it just takes a little bit and you mix it with water, and I think it was just water. It might have been something else too, baking soda. I can't recall. And you just put it on your face and you have this very black face for about 30 minutes and then you wash it off. And I would suggest doing it in clothes that you don't care if you get it on it. I learned the hard way. And it's easier just to wash off in the shower than to stand at the sink trying to get it off. I think that's a good idea. Do it before you take that shower. But I loved it. I really loved it. And I will use it again.
Yeah, that would get off the counter and it runs down your elbow to your mouth and everything.
It does a great job on your skin. I mean, it really did. I could feel the difference. And I think I even noticed I'm going to do it on a more regular basis. Right. I do like it.
Yeah.
Longevity has a lot of products that we really should take advantage of. And I think we're very blessed to have a company that has so much variety that we can choose from and try to meet the needs of everyone. Some people like the Tangy Tangerine. I like the peach better, but the flavor better. I just like the flavor better. And they're still just as nutritious, but it just tastes better to me. And that's the 2.0, which is this one. It's all called Tangy, but this is the peach version. I like that one.
I love that we have options.
Yes, I know.
The 1.0, the 2.0, the 2.5, and you got the 3.0, which is a completely different flavor, and it's not even called Tangy. It's just 3.0, yep. Sorry.
3.0, Rise and Restore. I love Rise and Restore too. And I go back and forth. Some days I'll have Rise, other days I'll have this, not in the pack, I have it in the can. Some days I have both. Depends on what I want, but I love it all.
I do the same thing. Because sometimes I do the Rise and the Restore, it's sometimes, and then I'll do the Rise, and then in the middle of the day I'll do right now my husband likes the 1.0, so I'll have that and I'll mix it with other things. And yes, Healy, I am one of those blender and mixer people. I mix all kinds. I mix mineral sticks with my Rise and the fiber from the.
Yes. I love the fiber, the YGY fiber.
Yes,
I love that fiber.
Love that stuff. It's amazing, and I like that it has similar ingredients to Sweeties, so it helps curb your food noise. And I,
That's right.
mix it with a good amount of water and I drink it slowly, usually
Yeah. Yeah.
through the course of the morning, and make sure you drink a lot of water and you shouldn't have any problems.
Yes.
And another
Excellent.
thing, the mineral sticks are good if you mix them with a little bit of yogurt. Like
That's my favorite way to do them, is sprinkle them in yogurt. Yes.
RSBT free and an unflavored, oh, excuse me, unflavored yogurt, and just plain, and mix that together. And then I have found that a lot of the keto recipes out there do not contain gluten. They're like mostly almond flour and different things. And you can make a lot of puddings and different things without using gluten. And there's some carnivore recipes even for pudding and different things that are just like milk and cheese and eggs and different things that you could blend with flavorings. So you have to kind of look and see. Some of those carnivore things are weird to make. Don't taste. I don't recommend making the bread. I have not had good results with the bread, but that could have just been that recipe. And then Keely had another answer. And if the co-host could put the questions in the app we normally use for questions, it would make my life a lot easier. So Barbara says she wishes they would do a strawberry BTT. I know
that'd be fun. I'd like that.
I'd like strawberry lemonade. That would be good. And let me look to see. I know that I saw something else from Keely. What about pasta replacement? So there are good gluten-free pastas out there. You just have to find them. I'm trying to think, and we have an Italian market not that far from me, and there's two of them, same company, and they have the most amazing gluten-free pasta.
There you go.
It is super good, but that's unique to my area. So do you have any recommendations, Sheri?
Well, I would go to RX Carnivore. I think I've shared this with you before. RX Carnivore.
They have cheesecake recipes.
Yes. It's a YouTube channel, and you can learn about, because carnivore doesn't use anything that is a grain. But I wouldn't go full carnivore myself personally, but some people it's the best diet for them. Everybody's different.
I did. I lost 25 pounds.
You lost 25 pounds. So see, there it works. That's so good. And then there's always the keto places, and just make sure that they're not putting buckwheat or oats in it. And you can use those. I mean, there's so much out there. It's just, I love sometimes, I wasn't the cook in our house. I wasn't always excited about the recipes my husband was. And so he'd look for all kinds of stuff, and we ate so good and tasty, and it was compliant. But now I'm having to learn on my own, and it's not that I can't cook. I just don't enjoy it. I like to ferment. I like to can. I like to do stuff like that. But cooking, I'm learning. It's coming. So there are pasta replacements. I've never was a great big pasta person, so it doesn't bother me. But I have an Italian friend who is a big pasta person, and she's had a hard time giving that up or looking for alternatives. It's been tough for her.
There are some, and I know that the carnivore has what is it called? I forget the brand name. There's Rebecca made them one time, and they're protein noodles.
Oh,
and they're just like eggs and protein. They're just
okay.
I don't know what they're made of. I don't remember. And they had minimal ingredients, and there was no gluten at all. But they were good.
Fabulous.
They were a little different, but they were really good. And then, of course, there's always rice.
Rice noodles. I was thinking that too. Yeah.
Yes, I like rice noodles. In fact, I like to eat pho, because they have rice noodles and beef and different things. That's one of my carnivore cheat meals because it has vegetables in it. But I just make sure to take enzymes with, because then it helps.
And remember, I don't know if people understand this. No, they're not. Yeah, here they are. Where are they? Put them somewhere. Oh, the enzymes. If you don't have a gallbladder, you've got to take these for the rest of your life. Can't tell you how many people that I work with don't have a gallbladder, don't take enzymes, and they cannot they cannot digest fats properly. And so they have health issues from that. So if you don't have a gallbladder, please, please always plan to take this at every meal.
Yes.
And I say every meal, they say, well, every meal that has fat, but I say every meal because all things have a certain amount of fat in it, except some things maybe, but I would always put that, especially if I'm going to put butter on the food, I would definitely take that.
Yeah. And you need the bile that's in the ox bile.
Yes. Yeah. If you don't have a gallbladder, then, I mean, you're still making bile, yes, but you don't have the amount you need in your stomach at the time that you're eating to digest properly. So, well, I guess we're getting close to the end of the hour. Is there any more questions anybody has? Any comments anyone wants to make?
Anybody out there?
I think we are.
Olga said thank you for the comment, Sheri.
Oh, you're quite welcome, Olga.
Likes to
So
use,
glad you're here.
sorry, and she likes to use the 2.0 and 2.5 for her grandchildren.
Good. Give them a variety, she says. That's wonderful. Yeah, we all need variety. Kathy's back up. What you got to say, Kathy?
Yeah. Go ahead and unmute.
Hi, Sheri. I'm also 76. And by the way, you look fantastic. And I'll have what you're having, as they say. But what I was wondering, do you think that being older requires any modification or difference in what you take, what you eat?
Yeah, you really have to be more conscious of I think as you get older, you really have to be more conscious that you really stick with the supplements. You can't, our bodies are starting to break down. That's part of the plan. It's just part of the plan. So you do just have to be more conscious of what you eat, and you have to take those supplements. And some of the supplements that I add to it, I do the ZRadical. I think that's really good to add. I wish I had my supplements in here. They're in there. There are about, I do the vision supplements. We have 2 of them, Occutive and Vision FX. I take those because I want to protect my eyes. I have to wear glasses, but these are dime store glasses. They're not prescription. And I take, what else do I do? There's some others in there that are extras that I take just because of the aging process. You just have to.
Yes.
I think it's just wise.
Yes.
That's a great question, Kat.
I find that I can't be as reckless as I could when I was younger.
Correct. Those days are over, girl. You're right. We can't be as reckless. I was thinking about that today. I have a son who's been passing a kidney stone the last couple of days. Poor guys. I know. I just see him and it breaks my heart. And I was thinking, he's over 35. You have until about 35 and you can be reckless. But after that, nope. You got to start changing your ways.
Even the slightest variation, sometimes I'll just say, well, there's a word called justa. I'll just, it's just a slice. It's just a piece. It's just a this or that. And I can't do that anymore. It makes a huge difference to feel it right away.
Yeah, I agree. On the cruise, I did take a small portion of the crepe that our guys would bring to the table while we were playing the games, just because I wanted to.
Yeah.
But it was just a small amount, just enough to satisfy, and that was over. Yeah. I totally agree with you, Kathy.
Well, thank you so much. Thanks for
welcome,
that. Thank you.
Thanks for your questions and comments.
Yes.
All righty. It is 3:58.
We're almost over. So I got my closing comment. How's that?
Yes, please.
We'll end on time. Oh, Marilyn has a question. Come on, Marilyn.
Oh, I just want to say that regarding kidney stones or any stones, Ben has talked about potassium citrate. It prevents stones from forming.
Yes.
So it's very wonderful. And actually, when a stone is there, it will help dissolve it also.
Yes. So and we have a great product that Brett Bashwati taught about in one of the classes I took with him. And that is the kidney and bladder support. It has corn silk in it. Corn silk will dissolve kidney stones.
Oh, I didn't.
As an herbalist, I know that already. And so I've been giving, I gave him that and he's been drinking it. It's helping. It's helping a lot. So that kidney and bladder support by Good Herbs, fantastic product. You must have it in your house. You must. Any kind of bladder issue, kidney issue, you must have it in your house. I keep it here all the time. And
I have a supply of the Good Herbs, and that's one of them. I do, but I didn't know that.
Good one.
Corn
Yeah,
silk,
and it's the corn silk in it that will dissolve that stone. It's really good. Thank you, Marilyn. Appreciate your comment.
Thank you, Marilyn.
All right, I guess I'll give my closing comment.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, and it's a short one, I promise. So as we close, I want you to remember that I'm still walking this path every single day, just like you. I'm not the expert. I'm a fellow traveler, just like you. And I want to thank you all for letting me walk a bit of this road with you today. That's all I have to say.
That's beautiful. Thank you for walking with us.
Happy to be here.
Really wonderful. All right, if I could get my co-host to join us up here, then we will. Yes, spotlight yourselves, please. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And Barbara says, thank you, Sheri, out there in the chat. Okay. Thank you so much, Sheri. That was wonderful. I love it when you're on and in this role. I love it when you're on every time you're here, but I love you in this role. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
So my name is Ruth Ellen Sanchez, and I've been your host for today. And if your question didn't get answered or you had a question that wasn't suitable for this topic, please email us at questions@dailywithdoc.com. And if you'd like to speak to a certified holistic health coach, please call 855-949-3377, and a certified holistic health coach will help you. And also, once again, my screen went black. It totally threw me out. Okay. Also, if somebody referred you to this program, please get back with that person, as they are going to be your main point of contact. And you can talk to us, but we are going to refer you back to them anyway, with whatever the recommendations that we come up with or one of the doctors come up with. Also, let's see, a question. I did that. Tomorrow we're going to have Julio Mendoza back again, and Rebecca Dukes is going to be hosting tomorrow. So that'll be awesome. I don't know what his topic is, but it's going to be great. So I'm going to introduce my co-hosts, and Sheri Browning, who has been speaking. She is part of the tech crew, and she helps get everything set up to take what I stream to her, and it goes out to all the different platforms. So thank you so much, Sheri. We really appreciate that. Everything that you do. And then we have Marilyn, Miss Speedy Fingers, who is out there in the Zoom chat and doing dictation and, doing a really great job. And it's much, much appreciated. Also, we have Albert, who is our gatekeeper and a gentleman. And he also is a person that you're going to talk to if you're calling in the middle of the United States' night, because it's daytime for him, or morning and then day. So you'll be talking to him, and thank you for all that you do, Albert. It's much appreciated. And then we have Phyllis, who is out there on the different platforms and helping bring questions in and setting things up when I'm doing this role. She's my backup. Thank you so much for that. It takes a lot of pressure off. And her husband, Andy, are responsible for getting Doc on the radio. And we will never let that slip through the cracks. It's very important. So thank you for all that you have done with that. And then AJ, I don't know where he went, but he is our digital marketing director and does just more things than I could list even. I would forget stuff. So thank you for all that you do, AJ. And I just want to thank you all for joining us. And we couldn't do this without all of you out there in the different platforms and coming on. And, you know, it's our heart to do this to help spread Dr. Wallach's message and to talk about things like being a health coach and how to work with clients. Also, always remember to be kind. You don't know what somebody's going through, you know, and along with that is being respectful. Be kind and respectful of other people. You don't know what someone's going through, and you don't know what they're going on their way to face. You know, they could be going to the hospital to visit their sick relative who they know is not going to make it, or they have a child in trouble and they're just trying to hold themselves together. So I always want to say that. So thank you again for joining us, and we'll all see you tomorrow, and have a beautiful evening, and remember to smile. You are beautiful inside and out. Bye, everybody.
This program is for educational purposes only. The content is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any diseases, nor is it intended to take the place of your primary care physician. The statements in this program have not been evaluated by the FDA. Testimonials are shared as individual experiences of the individual. Results vary and may not be typical. We do not make any claims regarding health or income. As an empowered individual, you do have options available. We are honored to continue to share the teachings of a founding father of the science of epigenetics, Dr. Joel Wallach, Bachelor of Science in Plant and Soil Sciences, Doctor of Veterinary Medicine, 4 postdoctorates in pathology, naturopathic doctor. This program is for educational purposes only. The content is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any diseases, nor is it intended to take the place of your primary care physician. The statements in this program have not been evaluated by the FDA. Testimonials are shared as individual experiences of the individual. Results vary and may not be typical. We do not make any claims regarding health or income. As an empowered individual, you do have options available. We are honored to continue to share the teachings of a founding father of the science of epigenetics, Dr. Joel Wallach, Bachelor of Science in Plant and Soil Sciences, Doctor of Veterinary Medicine, 4 postdoctorates in pathology, naturopathic doctor.